What is good, my Impact Wrestling fan? Welcome to another edition of TNAIW Reaction right here on the TNAIW channel. My name is Geoff. Thank you for pressing play and giving this another chance. I appreciate you guys. It's going to be a different show today. Obviously, the look of it is somewhat different, but just a different angle. I'm long week. Thank you guys for all your well wishes and love and support and likes and subscriptions and plays and everything in between. I love you guys. I thank you. I appreciate you. But yeah, we're going to do it a little bit different. I'll do the plugs as normal, and then we're going to get right into a Victory Road preview. So we'll talk about that, a little bit about Impact along the way, of course, the episode itself, but not the straight up review that we've been doing. But we'll hit on everything, I think, for the most part. And if I don't, make sure you leave it in the comments, and I'll hit it up in your comments, which we'll get to in just a moment as well. Then we'll hit up episode 1000, talk about CM Punk being a free agent, and then we'll plug the stuff, and we'll get out of here. And I will start my Impact Wrestling week as I get ready to travel for Victory Road in episode 1000. I cannot be more excited, and this card is shaping up to raise that level even more for me. So I'm really excited about it. How about you guys on the build? Let me know. I know you guys will, and we'll talk about some of that in your comments. But first, I want to make sure you guys are checking out everything here, hitting like, hitting subscribe, and checking out Tuesday's Go Power Rankings. Always killing it there with the crew. TNA 2K finale, speaking of the crew, Lucha and I will be doing an in-studio recording tomorrow. Semifinals and finals to crown our X Division champion, our Super X Cup 2023. So look out for that. And that'll be coming out Wednesday. And then last but not least, G's Trivia House, something I do on a different project, different portfolio I'm building. This Thursday, I will release a TNA Impact Trivia House as a thank you to you guys. Hopefully you do and just kind of have some fun with it. Brings you a smile or some nostalgia. But with episode 1000 in mind, I wanted to do something with the set I had already built. So I made a TNA game. It's 25 questions, up to 50 points. You see how you do. You could comment. It's a good time. Test your Impact lore and knowledge, man. But I look forward to putting all that out for you guys, and I look forward to continue this journey with you. With that being said, yeah, I got nothing else. Let's talk about Impact really quick in the sense of overall paintbrush stroke. I thought the show looked good. It was lit, as the Rebel should be. Make sure you check out the TNAIW podcast we just did, the review of Emergence with Lucha. Hit up a bunch of things that are going on in Impact, including the production. But it was a fun and easy watch, man. Not only because of the lighting, but it was fresh. There were some new things started. There were some new things kind of tweaked, some old things rehashed, and then some people getting some character development, while also kind of setting the groundwork. And we said this about Emergence. Did a great job of setting the groundwork for Victory Road, even episode 1000. But kind of going towards Bound for Glory, you could kind of start seeing the puzzle pieces come together. And some of this stuff coming quicker than I thought. Some of this I thought they'd save for Bound for Glory. But let's talk about it. Let's start with that Victory Road preview. Because Josh Alexander and Steve Maclin, something that I thought would be on the Bound for Glory card, is happening there September 8th. My birthday. I don't really celebrate, but I will be celebrating that day, because how can't you, man? This card is phenomenal, and I'm starting with Josh and Steve because it's the first one I've written down. But also, how damn good is it to have both of them back? The depth in this company right now is phenomenal, and you're adding two guys who are foundation pieces in my eyes, and it's a good time for them to come back. It adds another high-profile feud amongst the other ones we're building. And as I said before, and we'll hit on it in just a second with the Rascals Motor City Machine Guns, it feels like the world title, although maybe not the main focus, is the focus of a lot of different feuds. And thought it'd be a good time to bring back the Bound for Glory series. Could they? It's possible. You have enough contenders to where it would be interesting. It'd keep them together but apart in some instances, but also give you built-in storylines, here until Bound for Glory. So, regardless, this is going to be a dope match. Excited to see both of them back, as I said. picking a winner here. Josh already got the loss against Moose, or in that 8-man. So I don't know where I'm going to go with that, but I don't really think it matters. I don't see either of these guys being hurt. I think you can tell a great story, maybe a bloody story in this matchup between them, because this is a blood feud. It might not be for the title, and maybe that's why it's more intriguing, but there's some good stuff going on here, and looking forward to their matchup. Let's get into that Rascals versus Motor City matchup. One, because the title is not on the card yet again. And Alex and Josh had a promo, or Chris Saban started the promo, and then Josh came in to apologize for losing, because he's such a good I don't know, I was gonna say rookie, but I don't know what the word is. But he's just apologized to the vet. There we go. I don't know. More on that later, I guess, when we get to CM Punk. But Josh is going to apologize for picking up the loss. Alex is going to explain-ish about the whole situation. He did leave at Emergence, and he's saying he's going to prove to Josh he's not a transitional champion, which I love Alex Shelley. If you know me, I've loved him since 2003. Where's ROH start? Not start, but where did he get a start? With the embassy and coming over and all that stuff, then going back, Baby Bear. I've always loved Alex Shelley, and I like him as champion. Never fails in the ring. But I don't want to say it's transitional champion, because I think that has such a negative connotation to it, and he wants to prove that he's not. But when you're when you're in tag team matches, multiple shows in a row, it is what it is. Now he is defending against Trey at episode 1000, but either way, Motor City's going to get a title shot against the Rascals here at Victory Road. Who loves the yellow of Victory Road, by the way? I'm obviously a TNA Day Oneer, so I'm going to have a bias to that look. But the yellow, I just love the yellow. But anyways, I'm looking at the the promo pic while I'm talking about that. So Wentz picked up a loss against Saban here on Impact. Sets the tone. We obviously have a week before, or another episode before, so I don't want to write anything off. Apologize about the constant drinking. Got to keep down the mend, guys. But anyways, so yeah, I don't know what it's going to happen. I imagine the Rascals are going to keep it here. They got multiple storylines and multiple contenders lining up here, from Joya. Can I get a... and still my favorite entrance, man. What a happy moment that was for me. And sharing it with Lucha and Max, who never seen it before either. Good times. But they have Joya in the wings here. You got the pro wrestling, most professional wrestling gods, kind of breaking away from Bully and doing their thing, but being more solidified. You have the other tag teams, like ABC and Good Hands, who have split off to kind of stall a little bit, but they're all in the mix, man. And I know I'm missing some, but it's a good place in the tag division as well. And I think this is just going to get Rascals another a little notch on their belt. I don't know, and I don't want to jinx it, but could they still set up Chris Saban Bound for Glory series or not versus Alex Shelley for the title at Bound for Glory? It's possible. There was a miscue at Emergence. We haven't really talked about that too much. I think we did on the show, but that hasn't been a point yet, right? Because there's so many other things Shelley's dealing with. So maybe there's some more miscues here. Maybe that's what starts the spark or sparks the feud. But even if the Bound for Glory series comes, it lets Chris Saban have that moment without hesitancy of, I'm going to put my name in the hat, man. I'm going for number 2. So I think that could be interesting. If you want to see Saban versus Shelley in the Super X Cup, go watch the last episode where they tear it up in the main event, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Cheap plugs, right? Next, we're going to go to Deonna and Jordynne. The worst thing you guys can do, and I'm going to say that to you now, I don't know, maybe it doesn't affect you. You're born into this, bred into this new era of just constant negativity. But the amount of people that I saw were, them again? Like, what is this, their 4th match? That's all it is. And each one has been a banger. And each one has been pretty much on par with each other. So why wouldn't you want to see them again? I think it makes all the sense. Lucha mentioned it on the show for Emergence. If Deonna does head out. She's got to do the honors to Jordynne, right, to get that. Is this here? I don't know. We're going to see them in the 10-man, is it 10, 6 knockout, whatever, 12 knockouts at episode 1000 on opposite sides. I think, and I was talking to Luch about it, I think we could see a Jordynne Grace turn at episode 1000. So would it make sense for her to lose here again and surprise everyone? I think it could. I think that also might be a reason why, and maybe they have nothing to do with each other. But maybe that's why Gresham's being held off too. Maybe they're going to do a double heel thing there as a couple. Or, what I'm suggesting, wouldn't it be kind of cool if Deonna and Jordynne did a 2-man power trip kind of thing a la Austin and Triple H back in the day? I think that would be cool. Add something different to the division, gives MK Ultra a very, very serious contender. Not that the other ones aren't. But, I mean, that's, beer money-esque, 2 former champions or 2 perennial number 1 contenders / champions in the mix. Something interesting, but we're going to get this over the spotlight that Jordynne stole from Emergence. Let's keep this going. Chris Saban's not ready for Lio Rush. He's in a tag team match for the titles there, so Kushida is going to use his X. He's going to cash that in and go for it. Like this matchup. Keeps New Japan talent together. Notice Lio, well, no, he's wrestled our guys too a little bit, but sticking with some familiar faces for Lio Rush. He's going to get Kevin Knight, who's also, this coming week, who's also a New Japanner, so interesting. But I don't know what way this goes. I'm okay with either way. I want Lio Rush to stick around. I really like his work. I'm getting familiar with that and digging it. Kushida the same. Like Kushida a lot. And the X Division is a perfect place for him. So we'll see what happens there. I would, my money, if I had to guess, I'd say Lio keeps it. Especially with Chris Saban in the wings. Allegedly, maybe. We'll see. Next, Tommy Dreamer. I'm going to keep spitting these out, guys. I'm going to burst through these so we could get to everything we want to talk about, especially your comments. I know there's a lot of comments this week. Tommy Dreamer, Kenny King. This came out of, obviously, the kick after the Swinger match. He kicked Kenny, and I mentioned it briefly that we're probably going to get a 5-minute, or $5, I bet, that Tommy's going to do a promo and get a title shot. And, unfortunately, I don't want to say it like this because, look, as an ECW dude, too, love Tommy Dreamer. Love him. But, unbiased, transparent, honest, maybe some of you are happy that this is a potential retirement match that we're going to get. But it's the promos that get me. I'm going to be real. The matches, they're hit or miss. You could tell a story in the ring still, weapons or not. I don't mind it that much. Especially when he takes off that, that Terry Funk type role for us, right? That old wily veteran who could still do some things here and there. But a 10-minute promo with the crowd not into it and too many details. There's just things that Tommy will, I had offers from other companies. Boom, it got the point across. WCW, WWE, it was for a lot of money. Like, let's keep it short and sweet. If they cut that to 5 to 7, probably would have worked more because Kenny's gold. And Tommy in spurts is as well. There's that trust and love from the fan of yesteryear that will still eat what Tommy says, including myself, but let's keep it tight. But either way, they're going to go for the DMC at Victory Road. Retirement match or not, we'll see. I'm going to go with Kenny there. But this basically all started, besides for the kick, but Kenny and Sheldon Jeans were drinking beers or something at the bar instead of watching the Knockouts main event, which, if this isn't reality, which I hope it isn't, because that's, I think everyone should stick around for the show, but who am I, right? I get it. It's work. If this is not legit, then what a weird thing to use. You didn't want to watch the Knockouts. I don't know. That's kind of weird for me. But moving on, speaking of weird, but I'm glad it's coming to a head. I like the little twist this week. It's Bully Ray versus PCO. We're going to get him in an Anything Goes match, which makes sense. First off, Moose and Myers are abandoning Bully again, which I like. I thought we had to do that anyways for episode 1000. Maybe Team 3D versus the most professional wrestling gods. Seeing that Alex Shelley's in something, I thought it would be Motor City to bring that back. But that could work. And that could be a fun matchup. But anyways, they're going to peace out. So Bully's on his own for the most part. He's going to get Maclin next week in a tagging with him against PCO and Josh. But he has an interesting thing here telling, and this I'm sure popped Lucha, telling him to be Carl. Don't be the monster, be Carl. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Do we get PCO without the Frankenstein light thing? I'm getting a little bit tired of the falling through stuff, mega bump, Hogan up, no cell chase. We got to have something more, and I'm here for the ride. Speaking here for the ride, Trinity versus Alicia. I saw also people talking about this. Oh, she better... Look, say what you will about your personal... This was a great... Personal things about Alicia, not personal things, but personal tastes or preferences, whatever. As far as character development, and including the promo after this, and the Bonnie and Clyde... I say Bonnie and Clyde, but they're more like Sid and Nancy. Eddie and her, but... I dig it, man. I believe it. And... You know, is she going to go out there and put on a 25-minute 5-star match? No. No one in Impact could put on a 5-star match, allegedly. But the point is the character deserves a shot. And it looks like she'll probably pick up the L on episode 1000. So why not give a title shot where she could pick up an L here but still look credible? I thought it was done beautifully. It teased with Jody and Kylan, who all of us, I think, are very fond of or believe, you know, could be the next big thing in one capacity or the other. So I thought the Battle Royal was nicely done. I thought working it in even Vanna Black, because she deserves a title shot. But I like this, man, and her sneaking in and eliminating them. Caught me off guard, to be honest, and I was paying attention. So I dug it, and I'm excited to see what they can do. I expect Trinity to pick up the win. I don't think any shenanigans in it. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm sure there's at least 3 more. I'd say because they could always do 2 on the pre-show, and then 1 more on the card. So some more matches to come, but I don't care because this is enough for me to buy a ticket, which I already bought a ticket, but you know what I mean. And if you guys are going, I'll see you there. Hit me up, and we'll enjoy this shit together, man, because this is going to be awesome. Next up, I want to hit on the your comments because I don't want to go too far or have you guys say, well, why didn't you mention this? Why didn't you mention that? There are some things you guys mentioned from the show or people regarding the show that I can kind of wrap in, so I want to bunch them in a little bit. Nora Sparks, buddy, welcome. Good to see you again. They have no direction or plans for Mike Bailey and Jonathan Gresham. Bound for Glory series would have helped push Mike Bailey to the world title scene. Yeah, I don't know. We talked about on the show of as far as where we think why Bailey's kind of doing matches, and it might be just his shtick. At the same time, is it a will he go kind of thing? I don't know. I don't know this contract situation. I hope not. But Bound for Glory series or not, I think he has something else lined up. I think it's going to be Bailey versus Ospreay, and who knows? We might get our first 5-star, right? As far as Gresham, I already mentioned that, man. They kind of did the tease of the rules thing, and then pushed it kind of with Bailey a little bit, but it was in between, you know. I don't know if that's the shtick I want him to go on, but if he's with Jordynne and they're together, that'd be cool. As long as I don't see him in Feast or Fired, I'll be happy because I love Jonathan Gresham. I like everything he does. I could watch him wrestle from, you know, all 86 minutes of Impact. But he does need to have something to bite onto, and I hope they find it. But I have a feeling they wouldn't have took that away unless something was coming, either a different storyline or different angle, a different jump start for it, or a different path for him, you know, when it comes to employment. So we'll see. But the dude is one of my favorites. Thank you, Norse. All right. This is RollyBoy141. Oh, it's Io. What's up, Io? TNAIW channel on Twitter. Io, by the way. Anything Henry touches turns to gold. Yes. The Joya thing, like I said, it's been a week. I don't even know what day it is today. But as soon as Joya came on in that entrance on that pre-show or countdown, there was nothing pre-show about that entrance. It made my week bullshit disappear. Love it. He continues to kill it. He continues to defy gravity and everything else in between to continually be a baby face and put out funny content and get a reaction. Beyond impressive. Beyond impressive. Check out his food fight show too on Impact Plus. It's worth the subscription to their channel. Love May 50. Hey, what's up, buddy? To me, that booking Bayley and Deonna and maybe Gresham makes me feel like they're all on the way out. With Deonna, you don't make your female talent tap out twice like she did. She can lose, but to tap out twice, I don't know. Yeah, that kind of put up the red flags for me. I hope not whatsoever. Love Deonna. I think the landscape elsewhere isn't the best for women's wrestling. Maybe I have a bias, but from what it seems, as far as focus and multiple storylines, multiple matches, headlining matches, this is the place to be. At the same time, she has done it all, so I respect whatever she does choose to do. But all the equity she put in sweat and blood and tears into this version of her, I would hate to see it be erased when she pops up on X, Y, or Z. She's good enough to make anything work, but you know how the system is. And then we already hit Bayley and Gresham, but yeah, I don't want any of these dudes to be in Feast or Fired. I'll mention that now because my goal for Feast or Fired is I want Curryman to come out. This is for Max. I want him to win a briefcase, and I want him to get fired and take off the mask and beat Daniels to wrap up that once and for all. But I would love that, and thank you, Love May 55. For that count, 5512, 5,512. Math, Steiner math. All right, it's off the rails, guys. Told you it's gonna be a different show. I'm just shooting the shit with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're not already. Jamie, stay ready. What's up, buddy? The show was lit. Guessing our show because Emergence wasn't lit. But it was a good show. Speedball is about to challenge the IWJP Junior. There we go. Champion for the title very soon. Cool, man. Yeah. If he's going to be an ambassador, or as Lucha says, I forgot what he says, kind of the person that goes out and is your wrestler for you, right? If it doesn't matter this promotion, the other promotion, who else is better to showcase some great wrestling than Speedball? Maybe Gresham, but you know what I mean. I hope he's in for Impact for the long haul, and if he's doing other things and it's getting us notoriety in Japan as well and working on that relationship and keeping that solid, I'm all for it. Eli Samuel, hey buddy, I got this one off the live chat. I finally checked that. So what's up? So if you're watching this live, make sure you comment again and I'll make sure I screenshot it. I can't wait to see where they go with Crazzy Steve. This is one of the reasons, guys, I didn't mention Crazzy Steve. I'm excited for his direction in the company. I am too, man. I related and I loved the ride they took us on with those Tom Hannafan sit-downs, man. Really dug it. The black stuff spewing out, trying to take people's eyes. This is a darker and as we saw, a different Steve, man. I love the mask reveal. I was talking about that with Eric Young too. When you time something like that and you do it the right way, once this catches on, what a pop he'll get. Breaking him in Black Taurus, you kind of saw that coming. I don't know what that means for Black Taurus. Hopefully it means X Division. He's in the thick of things there. But Crazy Steve got disqualified against Mike Bailey attacking refs and other people and whatever. And I want to see where this goes, man. Look, I've been preaching, and it looks like Khan and EY maybe wrapped that up, even though I think I saw that they're going to wrestle on the Fallout again. The design against Eric Young. But if this is, it doesn't have to be the ending of that to make this reality. But I've been preaching New Church. And anytime I can, sell James Mitchell on the show, to get James Mitchell on the show, I will. I love James Mitchell. And I love the New Church, and I love TNAIP. Could that be something where the design, Khan, who looks Malicey in that part, that big man for the group, and Diener, who's the conniving master. Well, I don't know if it still work with Mitchell. And you got Steve who's doing, maybe they come up with something new. Maybe it's not the same IP, but I think there's something to play here. And what excites me is the fact that maybe none of those things happen, but it's got our wheels turning. We're excited for Steve, and we're excited to see what happens and comes out of this. Pretty excited, man. Dig it. Dig it. Skies Blurs 23. I thought they took the tag titles off Subculture way too quick. They hardly did anything. Ace and Base should have just retained Slammiversary. I get why. Instead of just having one tag team, it split off ABC to do other things and kind of jump-started that whole division. Gave Subculture a reason to go overseas, us to get some content that way. Good to have a little tournament for us. And sell the UK market on what we're going to do. The reason I think they took it off them, if I had to guess, and gave it to the Rascals so early, I could see at the end of October that UK tour Subculture winning it in the UK. I don't think they're over here. I know Deonna's facing Danny Luna this week. Sammy and Rich are facing Subculture. So maybe it's just kind of they're here for us, but when they're only here for us kind of thing. But what big pop that would be if they won in the UK. I'm okay with the tag titles getting pushed around. We got to solidify these tag teams, although most of them are. And ABC, they're gold, man. They don't need the gold because they are gold. As far as the gear, you're right. It seems like indie gear from 2002, and that said, not every promotion pays their talent as much as the WWE and AEW. Lighting thing we already talked about. Yeah. For me, I said this on last time. The gear is pretty rough, and I understand it costs money to put money into gear, but the level of some of these is very rough. And I don't want to name names. You guys can see and look, but very sangriento. Some rough shit, man. And you could tell when it's made in-house. And I hate saying that, but there's such a difference for the past 20 when someone gets their gear from outside and then from when they get the gear inside. It's patchy. The materials don't match up. It looks cricket made. I do want to correct myself. As shit I missed. Lucha was talking about the jerseys that are made and sponsored, that kind of thing with Impact or some of the talent. The Rascal ones, both colors, black, green, and flip-flop. Dope, man. Really dope. DMC is looking more and more like 24/7. Kenny facing people like Swinger and most likely Dreamer, not a title that can elevate new talent. That's one or two people. Let's see what happens first. The lineage is still great there, and I don't think Kenny's going to lose it. Glad Grace is coming back. They should have had the show on Friday or Saturday, not on the same day as big AEW show. Just a weird choice. I think it shows confidence, and it's still trending in the U.S. So, sort of off topic, but odd right there. Before Slammiversary, all these Impact fan channels have basically all stopped reviewing Impact. Don't know what that's all about, but there's that. I don't know. Can't speak for them. I stay in my lane. Always have. I think. I don't know. I think the putting out content each week, and then if you're expecting something out of it, as some of these, I don't know. I can't speak for anyone, but look, none of us are gonna work for Impact. None of us have competition. You are your own competition. Numbers. We're talking about 1,000 views here and there, guys. Okay, there's 350 million people in the United States alone. And everyone has YouTube across the globe. So 1,000 views or 2,000 or 3,000, we're talking about peanuts. So I get why Impact. I don't know. I think I think that sometimes we dangle ourselves a carrot that's unattainable, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe someone, I don't know. I can't speak for any of them. But I hope they continue to cover Impact because we love Impact and we got to grow this community. And the more people putting it with a positive note or at least discussing things unbiasedly and welcoming people into that discussion, it helps the company. And that's the way we should build a company, one fan at a time, one friend at a time, not pushing people away, tribalism, or begging for fans as the old Twitterverse you see sometimes. But I don't know. I don't know. I didn't hear that, and I'm sorry to hear that because more the merrier. All right, Demon Better 99, if that is your real name. Crazy Steve character change I thought was really well done. Same here, buddy. King vs. Jody at the end of the Battle Royal was also really good. Why did Alicia win all the knockouts in the match? Kind of already discussed that. I think Victory Road was such a quick turnaround. I don't know if I mentioned this part, but that Alicia, I think, seems like the perfect person. Elevates her before she's going to take up some losses. And was a surprise. And with a week or two in a Battle Royal to do something like this, give her a shine. She deserves it. I'm not going to read the rest of that. You guys can read it. I hope Deonna stays awesome. I hope she stays awesome. But if not, I think King could be the next knockout. That is her replacement. She's super talented and booked correctly. Could be that next top KO. Yeah, all the love to Taylor Wilde. Still, I love them together. You guys know my love if you watch the show. The Covenant is a amazing entity for both of them. But with Taylor might being injured still, Kylan's going to get a chance to do a little more on her own. And she's legit. She's legit. I said it on the Emergence. I could watch her bump all day, man. And it's good. It's quality. Love it. Not just the wrestling, but the character and the confidence now that she has in the promos. It's good shit. It's good shit. Thank you guys for your comments. I hope I did them justice. I see the 30-minute mark, and I'm trying to keep this short because we have a lot to run down through. But I'm trying to hit on everything as we go. But I do want to hit on CM Punk because, you know, I say this. I think I said it with Mercedes, and I'm going to say it with him, and you might think I'm crazy. But if you can, you throw this man the bag, okay? With restrictions and all that stuff. But here's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to excuse, well, first of all, let's say this. We don't know him, unless you do. But I don't know him. I don't know anyone in AEW. We're all just making our best opinion based off of what we read or the vibes and energy, right? I'm not going to condone choking someone out or attacking your boss, unless it's for ratings in the ring, of course, right? But I also don't condone, I think as grown people we can have conversations. But I've been in situations when I wasn't level-headed, and you have a bunch of people around you that don't take criticism. You have a bunch of people around you that snub their nose at you, because they don't want your advice, although maybe not delivered in the best way. You have a boss around you who is a child and promised you the world, and you walk in and he's doing God knows what off of what, going skiing. Who knows? Okay? Look, all I'm saying is it's a perfect storm for someone like CM Punk, who I think would excel in an Impact locker room, to explode. Do I think that happens here? I don't know. I can't predict the future. But I will say that the one thing you say, and once again, I don't know the locker room whatsoever. We're going off energy and news and all that stuff. And no, I'm not basing this off as one visit where he played Uno. I'm basing this off of this fact. When you have someone who wants to give knowledge, and you have someone who's, I'll say temperamental, but has people that's willing to listen to that knowledge, as I think our mature locker room is, who's willing to hear his stories, who's willing to get better and put in the thing. And I'm not saying that's all it was. I know there was some cheap bullshit that he did as well. I'm not condoning any of it. But in a day and age where there aren't real needle movers anymore, and you could say, well, you don't really move the needle. You don't, going from 800,000 to 1 million, okay, and then fluctuating back and forth. The pop eventually went right, but there's a bunch of bullshit within that, and a show that also, he's only one part of it. But anyways, whatever. But when we're talking and celebrating 140,000, once again, Nielsen ratings kiss my ass. But do you know what I mean? I think the boost would be worth it. It is marketing that you could not spend your money on, whatever he costs, and get the same in return. I just don't think you can. And when we have a locker room that already has Bully, who's very critical, you watch his Busted Open, you can hear him. I'm sure he's not the most pleasant delivering it, but he has people around him who keep, maybe I don't want to say keep him in place, but everyone, the energy's good there, it seems. So why wouldn't it be there good for him, good for Punk as well? I don't know. I also think, not only is it a needle mover, I think I think the biggest thing is what people are going to say is, I don't know, man. It's hard because I see all the sides, but I don't know. I was told that it was a Hogan-like gamble. But the difference is Punk's only 44. Baggage? Sure. Hogan had baggage? Sure. Expensive? Sure. Company shouldn't be living outside its means? Sure. But these are one of those times I think you gamble. I don't think Hogan was, and we could discuss that all day. But I think this is, because you could still get matches out of him. He still has connections with some really good people who still respect him in this industry. His wife is becoming a free agent, and that doesn't hurt the cause when we have such great knockouts. And I think that was the biggest thing with Hogan was, one, he couldn't wrestle, so his things were from promotion and other stuff. Punk can still go. And then Hogan also brought in his friends. Punk's friends are good. And then there's only a few. He has no friends, right? So it's not like he's going to be bringing in his people to get over. I'm sure Ace will come, maybe April or AJ, whatever they're going to call her. But I think this is the time, especially with the momentum that Impact is building, that you take a gamble like this. Is it a detrimental one? I don't think so. It depends on if the number matches up. It's going to cost a lot to get Cult of Personality. But I don't know. I think it's worth it. Either way, guys, what do you think? I could talk about this all day and will, but I see we're hitting our mark of 36. I like that number. But I want to thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe. Episode 1000, I really get to hit on it too much, but I try to along the way. Ultimate X, Feast or Fired. I told you what I want with Curry Man. Something versus Dango. Kazarians versus Edwards. Or Kazarians versus Edwards is Team 3D versus most professional wrestling gods is my guess. And then the two... oh, by the way, Raisha Saeed. Yes. Hopefully she goes back and then changes back and then starts unzipping like Alicia Flash. Would love that shit. Velvet on the ring side as well. And then two mystery opponents. I'm going to go Mickey and Tasha, but we'll see. I still think Jordynne does turn heel here. But great show coming up this week for Impact. Great shows coming up this week for Impact. And if you're going, make sure you hit me up. I'll be excited to talk to you. And we're doing it. We're chanting TNA, if you like it or not, on episode 1000. I hope that could be a launching point. We'll see. All right, guys. Once again, check out everything this week. Go Power Rankings on Tuesday. TNA 2K finale on Wednesdays with Lucha and I in the studio. And Thursdays, G's Trivia House, TNA edition. 25 questions. Play along. 50 points. Tell me what you scored. Be a good time. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Love you. Thank you for coming out. God bless and good night. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.